Well, that doesn't look like the pictures in the manual. Now what?
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to actually finally open up the box that supposedly got the locker in it. Hopefully we got it right this time. Last time it was a combination of me ordering the wrong thing because it was only parts. The locker itself was discontinued, but their website still called it a locker. Anyway, we got it straightened out. We've got a full slip lock now instead of the other one was actually a full lock. So this is a slip locker. It's supposed to be for this rear end. So our fingers are crossed that everything matches up. We're going to open the box, see what we got, and then get into opening up the diff and seeing what we got in there. It feels a lot heavier, that's for sure. Oh yeah, okay. Alright, we got in here some catalogs. Cool. Hey, some stickers, right on. I'm gonna put those in the pumpkin when I clean it up. And some catalog, nice. Along with the bill, that part I don't want to look at. It's already paid for. Alright, let's see, what do we got in here? The power chucks. Oh, those are cute little stickers. Sticker. Ah, that looks better. We've actually got pins, parts, splines. Oh, that feels a lot better. Oh. Oh yeah, that looks more like what we're supposed to get in the first place. The splines, the gears, the whole 9 yards. We still got all the springs. The other one just had a bunch of springs and some other little parts. None of this. That's got all that. This side's got a bunch. Lock rings, clips, everything. Nice. Alright. I'm going to have to do some reading. Does come with an installation guide and does come with a user manual. This is good. Alright, I'm going to do some reading and then we'll open up a random moose. Find out what of this I have to put together or can put together ahead of time. But I'll show you all the steps as we go through it. Let's see how it goes. Now Moose's case, I don't have to jack it up to get at that. It's right there. Nice, easy, accessible. So I can just sit on the ground, undo that, we'll drain it. Might clean some of the dirt off it first. And then in this case, our axles are external. So I just have to unbolt the inner 8 bolts there. And the whole drive shaft just slides right out. So I got new gaskets for there, and I got new gaskets for the back of the diff. So I'm playing around with a new camera as well, so hopefully everything goes well here. Trying both the external mic and the built-in mic and see if it helps. I noticed when testing it, one was a little tinier, but one seems to pick up a lot of excess noise. We'll see about the other one, and later on we got to see how they work once Moose is fired up. The other camera, I still have it. It does have a few spots on the lenses, which I'm sure you've noticed in the odd video, hence the new one. But when I was running Moose, it just, you could hardly hear anything on it. So I'm hoping this one's a little better, but we'll see. It's the best we can do is try, and if I have to audio over, I apologize, but I will. So we're gonna get at this. I'm gonna clean up that pumpkin a little bit, brush it off, and then we're gonna crack that, empty it. I don't know what's in there,
I know I put some fluid in there, so there should be something, hopefully. And we're gonna, because the pumpkin doesn't leak. That's the one spot on moose that doesn't leak is that rear diff. And now I've got to open it. Anyway, I got a new gasket, so hopefully it doesn't leak after we're done. And we'll get this open, get this part in, and then hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll be able to get moose out and really give it a try. We had some family matters and other things come up, so this coming week is unfortunately not going to be possible. Just gives me some time to make sure I get this in and working. So here we go. What we've got to do next is we've got to go down here, and as you see, I've already got it on stands. I was thinking I didn't need to, but I've got to be able to rotate the drive shaft, or the axles. So it's set so it's just slightly above. The little stops there, they're just so that I can stop one wheel from turning later to test it. So it's supposed to rotate just a bit and then all of a sudden kick in and then stop the other tire from, being free. So we'll see how it goes. We got to open this up, drain out what's in there. I think we're going to try to clean that pan up there as well. So we're going to clean up the pumpkin and maybe paint it up. I don't know what color yet. Maybe to match moose. Maybe we'll make it blue. Okay, now I've already got the sockets set up. That one is a 14 for the pumpkin, and then later we have to take out these 8 in here, not the outside but the inside 8, and those are 19 mil. I already got the socket sitting there, so I didn't get confused. I got everything sorted out already and ready to go. Alright, so that's what we're looking at. Nice part about this, supposedly the locker is supposed to just slip into the system without having to take it apart. It's supposed to just drop right in. So I'm hoping that it does what it's supposed to do. We'll see. Hopefully everything's correct. We'll find out shortly. We'll take out there's 14 bolts on this differential because it's a 1-ton axle. So we're going to take out the 14 bolts, pop things open, and find out what we got in there. I've already tested, I've turned the drive shafts and that, and it is not a locked rear end in any way. It is definitely a floater. So hopefully everything goes well. I got the new magnetic bases for the camera. Now I don't have my other one out here to show you, but basically they're just a magnetic base. So as I said, I made new ones here. So what happens is the camera just snaps onto it. Alright, so just a magnetic base. There's a little more professional one on the camera that my camera person is holding onto, but this is just another magnetic base I made, and there's my tripods. So quick and easy. But if I need to stick it on the car, or if I need to put it on my bigger tripod, and the one he's using is on a selfie stick. So we've got all of those different options now to make it easy. These are very simple. Basically, it's just second here. There you go. It's a nut. In this case, a washer molded to another washer because the hole was too big. So that's what it looks like at that end. That's what it looks like at the bottom. All I did was put a bolt through, lined everything up, tightened it, and just welded the nut and the washer all together, undid it, cleaned it up, and clear coated it. Simple, easy, cost you like maybe $1 each. And away you go. Nice, quick, magnetic bases, screws on, and away you go. That is a 1/4 inch thread is the common thread for all of these too. So there you go, little tidbit. It makes it handy. This one's one of my favorite tripods because you can use it as a stick. It clamps, and then it actually opens up to be a small tripod. It's kind of cool. It's old school. It's actually back from when I used to have my 35mm camera. The idea of it actually was it held your flash here away from your camera. So, but there you go. Nice and unique. Works good.
Alright, so my initial step is to get these bolts out and find out what we got in here. Make sure we got the right part. Now I did notice, I'll show you in a minute, that the brake line here wasn't hooked up right onto like the right clamps. Wasn't bent up right in the right area or hooked up properly. So hopefully when we get this redone, I'll be able to put all the mounts back in the right place. Well, it's starting to seep. Well, it doesn't look quite as bad as I thought it would, considering I've never touched it. It is still brown. It's not white or super milky, but yeah, it was probably definitely due for a change. Alright, we got all new stuff to put in there anyways, so that'll be good. Alright, I'm gonna let that drain out and then get back at this. Well, here we have the locker. The springs are still here. There we go. Now, after opening things up, found out things are different. The book shows a drop-in locker. So it shows this style of rear assembly. Now, I was talking to them at Lockrite. They told me this is the one I need, this kit. But we're hoping all's well, because that's my rear end. If you can see here, yeah, I don't have an open rear end, so I do have to pull this whole thing out and tear this apart. This whole thing here is going to come apart. So I got to undo these bolts, take this whole unit out, then take apart the gears, the spider gears, everything inside here. Open this up, take everything out. You can see the holes are here for the locker, so we're okay there. It's got the 4 holes, so we're good. Then this thing goes together like this. These ones go in this way, and so forth. Now, I'm used to centrifugal clutches and stuff like that. I thought this would work on that premise. I have no idea how the heck this thing's supposed to work, because looking at it is confusing. It just looks locked all the time. It's not supposed to be. These things do move apart. These plates do slide on each other, but I don't know how it works, and that's not my science. We're just going to hope that everything works properly once we get it put together. So, piece at a time, we'll get this assembled. I'm going to try to get most of this figured out and set aside. Then we'll turn around and pull that out. Once we get under there, I'll get that out, bring it up here, and we'll sit down and figure it out. So as I was saying, because this one's different, looks like I'm going to have to undo this nut, which has some type of a retaining bracket to it. These two here, same on the opposite side of it here. Then we're going to have the drive shafts pulled back. Then I believe this whole unit will just come out. Now at the same time, I hope it doesn't just fall out. So I believe I pull the drive shafts first out a bit, enough that they're outside of the carriers that hold these gears right here. Then, and I know the drive shafts come out because I've had them out already. So we'll pull them out, and then I'll start to take this apart and take that out. I have a feeling this is going to be a lot heavier than I'm expecting it to be. And then again, maybe not. I am expecting it to be heavy. And then we'll take it out. And from there we can start to redo what we need. I looked at a video before and it showed this style. So once it's out, then I have to undo all of these and open this up. And take all the guts out of here, pretty much, and put the locker in. And then put everything back together again. So. Alright, I cleaned up a bit. I put my bolts in a bin. Alright. This would be easier if I did have a hoist, but at least I can crawl under this easier. As you can see here, I do have the bolt and the bracket out. That was right here. It's a 13mm bolt, or ½ inch probably. And then the two feelers go inside this little spot. You can see there's all kinds of little holes there. So it lines up two of those holes. Now these guys here are possibly a 20mm. I don't know. I don't have the right size. So I'm like, this is old enough, I'll go look. And it actually is a 13/16. So I got one of those out. I don't have a socket, I've only got the wrench. So there we go. The funny part of that is that a old school spark plug wrench for small engines is the right size. It is a 13/16. So there we go. We can get those out. I've still got to loosen the two on that side. They are in there hella tight. So I'm going to get those two loosened, and then I'm going to back these out slowly, put them in my tray, and we'll see what else we got to go. Alright. So we'll start with taking these off. I got the bolts out of the drive shaft, so as you can see we can move it now. Only needs to come out approximately 16 inches. I'm actually going to take them right out because I'm changing the gasket here. I'm going to put in a new one. This one was starting to leak a little bit. It almost feels like it's a metal gasket, so I'd say it's been around for a while. So I got new ones of those hiding back in here, along with the new gasket for the pumpkin. So we'll put new ones in and get that so it actually seals up. Alright, so you can see here the brackets are out in the bolts, and up here you can see what we got left. Now I've watched other people doing these things and talk about certain gaskets and spacers. I don't know what's in there, and I'm kind of afraid of everything falling out when I pull. So what I did is I went to a local store, in our case Princess Auto, in your case in the States I think it's probably, I can't even remember the name of it. You guys have all kinds of them down there. But anyway, I got some simple magnets. So I just put a bolt through them so I got a little handle. I'm going to put one on either side, and that way if any gaskets or anything tries to fall out of this area, this hopefully will catch it. It'll just sit there. This one sit up here, and hopefully if anything falls it'll catch in there, and I'll know which side it came from. Where exactly? Well, that's why I'm going to also be having this, videotaping this, so hopefully it sees it. We figured out the science. This is actually adjustable. These holes here, I wondered why they had locks. They actually turn in and out. They actually full turn in and out. Well, that is cool. Let's get this cleaned up a little. Move those guys out of my way because I don't think I need them. So these little puppies turn in and out, adjusting how tight that holds it. Oh, okay, one problem though. Oh, okay. That's good and bad. I did forget how many times I'm turning it. Not good. Okay. I haven't moved that before I get stuck to my hand. Well, there we have it. It's out. And man, that thing is heavy. It exceeds the weight I thought it was going to be. And it was going to be heavy. I did know that, but not that heavy. But what is cool with this rear end is that these bearings sit into a seat. That seat adjusts. So instead of, like I've seen with other tubers and other channels, I need this to the right or to the left, everybody's spacer this side, spacer that side. This literally threads in and out to adjust exactly where you want it to be. So I'm actually going to be able to get rid of a little bit of the slap. You know, when I put this back in, I can readjust it slightly more and get rid of a little bit more of that slap. So that is actually an extra bonus. Now I've got to find out what size these things are. Why am I guessing they're the same size as the big bolts I took out, the 13/16, which means I don't have a socket for that, and everything's closed. Tomorrow, well, actually closed now because it's evening, and closed tomorrow because it's a holiday. So yeah, we're gonna have to play with getting those open. Now, as you can see, these slots here, second here, as you can see, these little slots here, that's where the actual locker pieces are gonna stick out of later. So I can use the locker to kind of help hold this while I'm undoing those bolts. I use the big one there and use it to help steady it. Anyways, we'll get these apart. 12 of them. 12 bolts. So we'll get those undone. We'll see what size those are. I somehow doubt they're 19s. Oh, they are a 19. Bonus. Well, probably not, but a 19 fits. So good. Alright, we can use the impact on those. If it'll break them free. As you saw, my impact isn't exactly the highest output torque, but it works. I tried the impact, no go. So I gotta break them free with this, hopefully. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I should have broken free inside the axle. Would have been easier. To use the tires to stop it from turning. Crack them all in one shot. That's an idea for you. And just crack them one shot so that they break free. If you don't have a good impact. Leave them in the axle so the splines keep everything hooked together. For me, I made myself more work, but I will get it figured out. Once I do, I'll show you them coming out. And tell you what I did. Okay, my solution, for me, ended up being the 19mm wrench and a dead blow hammer. Nope, not enough yet. There we go. Alright, now let's see what we got in here. As you notice, the lighting's a little different. I got the garage door closed. It is actually now night. So, let's see what we got inside of this. Alright, they'll the same, so we'll just put them in here. A lot of bolts. Then again, this takes a lot of abuse, so it doesn't surprise me. Crack this open. Aha, there we go. Now let's see. Let's move this way a bit. Over here. There we go. And then we can flip the other half back over here. Once I get, holy crap, that's heavy. Mother. Well, that's cool. All right. So. Okay, those just lift out. I take it this little metal D just lifts. Oh, maybe not quite so easily. One side popped out, one side didn't. Let's see. These look like they're gonna give before the others. Nope. There we go. Alright, just a little bit of persuasion, and ta-da! Whoop! Of course, when you try to set it down like that, it all wants to just run away. Oh, darn. It's cool. Alright, let's don't fight. Hey! Just sit there. Okay. And then that comes out. Alright. My biggest thing is make sure our splines are the same. And well, it looks about right. But in my case, just to be careful, I'm going to slip underneath here. I'm going to check this just to make sure. Push one of these shafts back through. Or actually, I'll pull the shaft out. There we go. Let's see if this slips on the shaft. It does. Okay, we're good. easiest way to find out, just pull the shaft out, drop it off. That worked. Alright, so that will drop in there, I'm assuming. No. Wow. Cool. And this fits to it. That one lines up with that. There we go. Okay. Hey, and they all line up with the right holes too. Pretty much. Sit a little below the holes though. Okay. Now I'm wondering if these are exactly the same or not. Let's. Never mind. Where's that? Oh, hole I found. Push the other one. Oh, I see. It fills the hole in. Okay. It's just the same. It drops in, it's below it. I want to drop in on this side. Are we the same? Yeah, lift these back out. But let's see. Just curious. Oh, just a little bit. Okay. I guess that's the way it's supposed to be. Alright. Yeah, I guess so. It looks like it. Move it up a little. Alright. Now it came with this ring. Unfortunately, the whole thing does not tell me what to do with it. So that could be interesting. To test wearing gloves. Can't do anything with them. There. Okay. It's just lid. Won't lose parts. Alright. Now it says use some grease, so let me grab some grease. I just got a grease gun with grease in it, so that's the best I'm doing with. But it should work. With any luck. Okay, now supposedly these little guys have to go in here. So there's holes here. And these have to get greased and stuck inside those little holes. Oh, dude, really drop in there. Alright. Don't stick out much, that's for sure. there's 8 of these little springs, 4 on either side, so I think I probably want to put a little bit of grease on the top of them as well. Doesn't really tell you that well where to put the grease, it just says grease. I'm thinking more of the internal parts because the rest of this is going to get oil splashed on it anyway when it's running. I think the grease is partially to help keep them in place while you're playing around with stuff. Alright. Now you get these springs, they go in like so. The little spring inside it goes in there. So they sit in flat, and then this one sits on top of it. I think I'm going to do the same and add some grease to those guys, just to help them kind of stay in place. There we go. Now this block drops in here like this. And our rods go through it. Now my question that I have, and I don't seem to have the answer for in this book, because this book doesn't show this system with the 2 round. So I've got this, and then I've got the little guys. I'm not sure which one is supposed to have this spring-loaded side pushing on it. These go in. Like that. Where's my other one? There it is. I'm not sure how far those go because the other one goes through the middle of that. I'm thinking they line up something like that. And this one goes through the middle. Now the drop-in one, which only uses this pin, doesn't talk about those 2. It seemed to have a bit of a, it talked about these springs. So I think those springs are going to line up with this bigger post. There we go. Now, we're going to take this out. And we're going to line up on here. Pin, pin. Okay. I still am clueless to how all this works. Makes no sense. But apparently it does make sense, just not to me. That means I have no idea. Thinking I don't need that. Because that's way more than I'm out in my little spaces I was thinking. Come on.
this is all put together already, lined up. It's funny, the manual tells you about some of this, putting it together, which you didn't have to do, but it doesn't tell you about the part that I did have to do. Now that's the lighter part. I should have put that all together in there. What's the chances? In there. Oh, that. Ouch. Didn't think that through. Well, guess I'm lifting the heavier part onto the light part. Now, paint. Where's my paint? Where's my paint? Where's my paint? There's my paint. So, I want a dot. Ah, okay, right there. So I want to flip this way and put it on here. I was worried about lining things up right, but I realize now that that's pretty much impossible to line it up wrong. Okay. Well, that's in there. That's all together. I don't know if this is how this works to be a slip lock, but everything looks and appears to be proper and where it's supposed to be. So that was very simple, actually. One of those things that went together so well, I'm afraid it went too well. Well, let's see what happens. I will take and I will tighten those all down by hand just to make sure they're good, and then we can reassemble. Pop it back in there inside its little seats and tighten everything up and see how it works.
Okay. Alright. The only thing I don't know what was this. I know it doesn't go in as such. I think it's supposed to be a spacer if you need it for certain styles. Everything fit together nicely in there, so that's it. As you saw, I spun the tires. You can see the gear moving, the tire moving. When I turn this tire, that tire turns as well. So that tire turns, that gear turns, this tire turns, all at the same time. Now that's cool, and they go the same way, not opposite directions. So that's the lock. I don't know, there, you can get it to slip. There, I can hear it slip occasionally. There, I can get it to slip in reverse, but not in forward. So hopefully everything will work good and the way it's supposed to. We'll see. You know, unless somehow I've got that driver in backwards, but I don't think so, because it locks both ways. It turns this way if they're locked, and it turns this way if they're locked. Only if I double jerk it can I get it to kind of slip. You can hear it slipping in there. So I guess we'll see. If I've got it in wrong, then I've got to pull it all apart and do it again. Maybe I got it in backwards, but the sides were exactly the same. So I don't think I've got it in backwards. I don't think it can go in backwards in this case. So we're together. Hopefully everything's good to where it's supposed to be. Everything's tight in there. So all we can do now is I want to get some Loctite for my bolts. I might put a little gasket seal in there along with the new gasket. I've got to clean up the pan yet and then put it all back together. But I am done for tonight. We'll come back at it and see what we can get done. Alright, they're all back in, tight, snug. We should be good there. New gasket's in, so hopefully all's good there. Painted it up, got it all looking nice. That'll be going on next. We got a brand new gasket for it. I got this all cleaned up on the inside. Cleaned it all up on this side. So now it'll seal nice. No lips, no edges. All good. So, and that is ready for it. Well, there we go. It's looking good. It's sealed up. I put fluid in it. I think I still need a little bit more, but it's got more in it than it had when I took it apart, so that's a good thing. So we've got it all sealed up. We've got it all back together. I'm going to test it out tomorrow morning, or actually later this morning. That's how late it is. So I'm not firing up the truck right now to test it. But we've got a chance maybe to get out and have some fun with it. So as long as all goes well and I can drive around the block without any problems, we're going to try and get out with some of the guys and have some fun. So I'll definitely bring you the footage of what it can do, and hopefully we get to some places where we actually see the rear end actually lock up and both tires drive. So until then, that's it for now. Hope you hit that like, subscribe, if you can, share it. We appreciate it. We need your help to build the channel, and it is building, so thank you very much. And that's it for now. I will see you next video.